You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show with your host, myself, Sajda Wendy Muhammad. I am a multi-million-dollar business developer. I have developed business and real estate around the world, and I want to share with you my mental strategies, my technical strategies, and how I made it in the world of business. So I don't teach theory. I tell you about my life and introduce you to people who can also share with you what they've done to become successful. This is a practical show. This ain't a theory show. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
To share with you some of the magnificent and triumphant teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When we say magnificent and triumphant teachings, these two words, magnificent and triumphant, are adjectives that describe the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. That which is magnificent is that which is supremely great. That which is triumphant is that which is powerful enough to overcome obstacles. Think of it, black man and woman. There is a teaching in America for you that is supremely great, meaning that it is a teaching above all other teachings that have ever entered the ears of a black man and woman.
Greetings, conscious entrepreneurs. Add the Mind of an Entrepreneur show to your Roku TV lineup and catch up on past episodes of all your favorite Mo Today shows. Greetings, conscious entrepreneurs. You now can take the Mind of an Entrepreneur show wherever you go. I'm now available on Spotify. Just search Sajda Wendy Muhammad.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.
Assalamu alaikum. Happy Savior's Day. You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show, and I'm your host, Sajda Wendy Muhammad. And this week I am bringing you yet another emerging market leader, another industry disruptor. We're going to be talking to Brother Corey X with Shokra Soups. Before we do that, we're going to show you a quick video. But before that, let me just say a couple things. Welcome everybody in. First off, make sure if you did not get your link yet to visit the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House during Savior's Day week, you need to be in the, most of the time, or what we did so far was we sent out invitations to all the sponsors and to all of our coin holders. So if you're a coin holder, I'm going to open it up to the public tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you get in before it gets filled up by all the people who are not coin holders and are not sponsors. So that's going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Savior's Day week. And then that Monday, myself, Brother Abdul, Student Minister Abdul Salam with the NOI Archives, and Student Imam Sultan Rahman Muhammad, we're going to be doing a panel discussion. He's with the Table Talks Project on Monday at noon. And so you'll hear more about that. And what else is happening? This particular Saturday, we got two broadcasts. 6 a.m. is the Saturday morning coffee talk. And then 3 p.m., we're going to be doing a live from the Silver Room in Hyde Park. And that's our opportunity to just share with the believers who are coming in town some of our partner businesses and some of the cool stuff that they have in there. You all know last week we went to Mandeen Muhammad Legacy Men's Boutique. The week before that, we were at Supreme Bean Pie. No, Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream. And let me tell y'all, if y'all don't have none of that Sajda Bean Pie ice cream, you are missing out. All right. So with that, let me show you this video before I bring on my brother Corey, because let me set this up right. One of the things you all should probably know by now is that we really, truly, I'm not just saying that, are bringing to you these emerging new market leaders. They are people who are investment worthy. And just like anything else, it's new, it's on the ground floor. The numbers may be low, the participation may be low, but listen, get in now. I learned that lesson myself. There's been business opportunities that I missed out on that I had an opportunity to get in on the ground floor and I missed it. And then I had somewhere I got in on the ground floor and did really, really well for myself. So never, never, never diss somebody at the beginning of their journey, because all it takes is one deal. It takes one deal, one investment, one situation to change a person's situation all the way around. So me, I don't play people or diss people. So look, these might look like small businesses to you today, but all it takes is one opportunity, and you never know what's going to happen. So all of these businesses that I'm bringing to you that are part of the Black Muslim Business Directory, the Black Muslim Business Network, are emerging businesses. And when it comes to food, and we've been talking about food a lot on the Mind of an Entrepreneur show lately. When it comes to food, food is so very important. And we're taught, especially as MGT, right, that we really should be like doctors in the kitchen. So we should know what foods make us happy. We should know what foods can heal a cold, what foods are going to comfort us, what's going to change our pH balance levels. We should know all of this, and this is how we should treat our body, because we can't say that we love God and then we don't love and take care of the vessel, right, that he is embodying, that we get to control a little bit. We got to take care of our bodies. So welcome everyone here in the chat. Sister Aletha, I see you. Wa alaikum salam. Christina Bruno. Oh, yeah, so happy to. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. DG, welcome. Sister Ada, welcome. Wa alaikum salam. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you, sis, for following. And I'm about to show you on this video right now. Okay, so
the name Chakra came about between my husband Corey and I, and what we wanted to do essentially was a play on words to the actual chakra system, which is spelled Chakra, but the beginning and name to Shokra Soups is spelled Shokra. And in essence, it's like we wanted to express the importance of mindful eating when it comes to our physical body, but also our energy body. And what I mean about energy body is that we have 7 wheel-like energy systems that start from the base of our spine all the way to the top of our head, and they vary in color. Now, each color is associated with a certain food. So we wanted to blend that so that we can eat as best as we can in regards to the frequency that we want to put out. So if we want to be happy, have positive mind, positive thoughts, things like that, we want to eat high frequency foods, which is why we chose the name Chakra. We're light beings, we radiate the sun with some people, and we should be eating sun foods like vegetables and fruits and things of that nature, non-GMO, organic, chemical-free, non-processed foods. So at Shokra Soups, that's what we want to gear towards. It's eating mindfully, intentionally eating, because when we eat based off of our energy body, those wheel-like energy systems in our body affect our physical organs in our body. So if we intentionally eat to heal or activate or tap into those things, we start becoming more peaceful, more harmonious, more in sync with ourselves and others, and then we can become united. And at Shokra Soups, that's what we want to introduce into the community.
all right, y'all. That set the stage. It set the tone for the type of eating and the type of living that we should be moving into in this level in our life, right? We're trying to be gods out here, so we have to eat foods that align with our chakra systems so we feel better, we think better, we live longer, and we're happier, healthier, and wealthier, and we experience more love. So I'm going to bring my brother Corey X on here. Corey and his wife Ada, who you just saw, are proprietors of Shokra Soups. You all met Brother Lance, and they're like neighbors, co-partners, if you will, in space. And I can't wait to go there. So, Brother Corey, assalamu alaikum, and happy Savior's Day.
Wa alaikum salam. Happy Savior's Day.
I'm excited. I just saw your lovely wife explaining all the chakras and the soups. And can you expound upon that before we get into your business specifically? How important is it for us to eat for energy balance and for healing in our system and in ourselves?
Thank you, sister. And I want to thank you. Thanks again for this opportunity. And I'm excited. It is very important, Sister Saja. We see what's going on in our inner city communities. We see the food that's being provided for us. We see the options that we have, the fried food. And we can also see the activity in which we are doing in these communities. So, it is very important for us and us as believers in the Nation of Islam, as we were taught, to, cleanse, take care of this temple. We say it so often to customers, if when you buy an expensive car such as a Benz or a Ferrari, you just don't put any type of gas
Right.
in your car.
Right.
I'm sure you're going to put the right gas, the right oil in that car. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, the enemy has tricked us into thinking that we should be putting anything into our bodies And then in our communities, we have very limited options to put better things into our bodies.
You know what's so tricky now is that with the fast food restaurants coming out and they present this image of clean food, this image of being healthier, when in fact it's so low margin that there's no way that it could actually be healthy. You know, when you see somebody serve you an entire meal and they say, oh, you can get that off the dollar menu or it's $5. If you think about that, just the labor alone, it's not even possible to make that kind of food at that rate. So I always tell people you got to stay away from low margin foods, and it just literally it just costs money to live, you know, to live at a certain lifestyle, and you just might not be able to go off the dollar menu and things like that. You got to find you some restaurants like yours where you can eat what? Talk to me about it. Organic, non-GMO. Let's get into it.
Organic, non-GMO, non-processed food.
Yeah.
We're not adding chemicals or things of that sort. Our soups are cooked fresh daily. Our products are used daily, and we strive to the best of our ability not to be putting so much contaminated junk or chemicalized products into our foods.
How do you avoid that today, though?
Well, we can do the best we can.
Yeah.
I speak about it all the time, especially, you hear from vegans. Vegans will say, oh, well, it's not meat. But listen, we know if you're not growing your food, we live in a very chemical planet.
Yes.
From the ozone to whatever chemicals are just dropping down onto us. So, we strive to just pick and have a consciousness of where we're getting our fruits and our vegetables and our products and stuff like that. Simply looking on the ingredients, making sure that it doesn't have certain things on it or too many. You look down some of these products and they'll have 30 ingredients. You can't even pronounce
What is this?
what
You
is
know,
that?
when I first came in the nation, they gave us a list of ingredients that we should avoid. And so we would all be in the grocery store, studying our ingredient list. But you know what also is important, and I want you to talk a little bit about this, is energy. You can't escape energy, right? Energy don't lie. And so if you learn to read energy and vibrations, you'll learn a lot more than what you get off of listening to what somebody says or doesn't say. But when you cook, energy is just as important. So when we cook a meal as MGT, we're taught to pray. We're taught to have the right energy that goes into the food. MGT and FOI, the right energy that goes into the food, the right energy that serves the food, the right energy that grew the food. So when I hear your wife Ada talking about the chakras and lining up with the energy, how would one benefit from coming there to Shokra Soups and grabbing a bowl of soup versus going to your quick fast food restaurant that's just whipping you up some microwave liquid chemicals?
Uh, yes, my wife takes that very serious. She prays over her soups. She puts love to spirit. She listens to the teachings while she's cooking. And we also make sea moss smoothies here. And we'll put the smoothie in a sound bowl, and then we'll draw the sound and the vibrations. We ask the customer to step forward.
Wait, Brother Corey. Wait. That's so dope. I'm sorry. You put the smoothie with the sea moss.
All of our smoothies have sea moss in them.
And you put it in a sound bowl?
We'll put it in a sound bowl.
The right vibration.
Give it the right bite. This is all I
Somebody.
take credit. Sister Ada is a genius. My wife has came up with this concept. So when a customer comes, we'll step forward. We'll put the smoothie in there, draw that frequency, that vibration around it, and I know me and my wife, we pray. We pray for that customer. And they might not even know that because we wish them we know the hellish environment that they're going back into. So we just pray.
How's the community accepted this kind of new way of elevated nourishment?
The community has embraced us. All praises are due to Allah, to my partner, Lance, Supreme Sweet Shah. We already have, we've been blessed to do a lot of community work as is. So
Mhm.
when we opened up, the mayor and a lot of the dignitaries and different who's what were at our place. We
Yes,
also live in a unique neighborhood, it being Jersey. Uh, it's a black suburb, and here it's almost double the average household black income across the nation.
I
So
see.
you have homes. You have black people, which is 70% who live in homes. A lot of married couples and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of potential here for business. But
Mhm.
that's one of the avenues that we have not done good because we have not, as a community, accepted the teachings. So we have the same ailments and problems that are in our inner communities. Um, but that being said, everybody's looking. That's the wave. That's the trend. They're looking to find options. Everybody, is jumping on the vegan or vegetarian bandwagon, even if they don't even know what it is,
Mhm.
because we know through the system and the foods what it's been doing to us as our aunts and our family members have been getting sick. People are waking up and looking for different options.
That's right. Talk to me about the menu. I can't wait to hear about these soups. Like if I came there today, what would be some of my options?
Some of our options that we have now, we are very inclusive, and we also use the term flexitarian. We use,
Flexitarian. Okay.
we use the term flexitarian because we are vegan based,
Huh?
but we can add halal chicken or salmon to anything.
Okay.
Not a whole breast or anything, but cut up pieces to add them to give them a little, give them a little of that feeling of, as if they were having chicken. We noticed that with our customers and our people, even still to this day, you say vegan or vegetarian, it's hard for us to conceptualize not having meat. So you want to meet people where we're at and slow walk them and say, listen, I can give you this vegan dish. I
Yeah.
can give it to you with that halal chicken. It's good with or without it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to start to, get into your mind that, there is life outside of what we've been thought of with the meat.
Yeah.
So, you know, we we flex with that. We also have options for other families in reference to certain things. Our Dr. Sabi or in other families. We're all inclusive here in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We traditionally have our bean soup. We do a navy bean soup. We do a vegan Creole gumbo.
Wait,
We
wait, wait. Stop. Don't go so fast now. Tell me about this vegan Creole gumbo.
for
Because I'm
those
a Creole girl. I like that kind of stuff. But I'm allergic to seafood and I don't eat pork. So gumbo generally is off limits for me.
right, and there is no pork or beef or seafood that comes through these doors. So
Okay.
the vegan gumbo is a great option for those of us who want that kick and want that taste without those options. So, we do the vegan gumbo. It's got a little spice for our spice lovers, and it's actually one of our more popular soups.
Okay.
We do a chakra chili, a vegan chili, a wild rice, and then we also do features all the time. So whether it's a corn chowder or anything that we're experimenting, we've done tomato basil, whatever we like to do. But we try to typically have 5 to 6 soups in rotation on a day-to-day basis.
Wow. And I saw that you guys do some wraps and things like that. If you want like soup in a wrap or something like that, tell me about those.
Yeah, so we do our vegetable wraps. We could do the halal chicken wraps. We do a crab cake with hearts of palm. We also have um, chicken that we do, a vegan chicken, as well as a flatbread, which are like little mini pizzas.
Yeah. You talked about the crab cake with hearts of palm. Talk about that because a lot of people just said, wait a minute, I thought no seafood. I heard them say that.
Right. So we've got a lot of vegan seafood options. That's
Hmm.
been our, the direction we've been going. So we actually do a tuna taco as well, and that's with carrot pulp. But the hearts of palm crab cake, it's got a nice seasoned flavor. Those who are pescatarian, vegan, and haven't had seafood in a long time enjoy that. They really feel that, and it's got the similarities and the seasons that are so close to seafood without that seafood.
So, how did you get into this? Was it your wife, or how did you guys decide this is what we're going to do? Tell me about your background.
Well, it's a mixture of everything. I was in a vegan restaurant before.
Okay.
Actually, and even before that, I was trying to start a juice shop in the community. So
Mm.
I've always had a desire and a want to bring healthier options and fill that void in the community,
Mhm.
um, in any way to improve into our health. When I was at the vegan restaurant, my wife was telling me, there's no soup place into the community. And I get in trouble, Sister Saja, like a lot of us. I don't listen on
Brother Corey, I'm gonna jump in here because they like, where the city? What city is it?
Willingboro, New Jersey. We are about 25 minutes away from Philadelphia. We are in between Camden, New Jersey, and Trenton on the south side of Jersey.
Okay.
Um,
So you started in the restaurants, you had a desire doing the smoothies, and then how did you get here?
right. So I was doing and my wife was telling me about the soup. So I said, she's right about that. And there was a desire of mine to, work with my wife, but I had to make sure that the condition and environment and all that was right, because she is, as you could tell, she's incredibly smart. And
Yes.
sometimes in this world of business, which is one of the things also why I get into business, it can be very draining, sharpshooter, scavengers out there. Scavengers of the scene business. And I don't just want that type of energy all around her. So I try to do my best to, make sure that's a great environment. And then I had a conversation with Brother Lance and what they were doing, Supreme Sweets. And, he pretty much spearheaded this idea of, the 2-for-1 businesses, and sharing the kitchen, cutting overhead, everything. So, I kind of revisit that conversation with my wife, and she would just took off with this whole Shokra Soups concept, from the smoothies to our layout. Everything has thought, intention behind it, and a purpose behind it.
What's been the hardest part of all of this?
Well, we've had many obstacles. I've had many obstacles. One, being transparent, me and my wife. Being us, being together, everybody knows it could be difficult. And
I was going to ask you, how is that? Like, do you, because you're there together all the time, right?
I actually am a construction worker by trade.
Okay.
So
Okay.
during the day, I am.
You don't have to see you during the day then. Okay.
But when we were at the beginning, I was here to make sure that we were sticking.
Sure.
I took a little bit of time off, and yes, we have had our shares of bump heads and stuff like that. And it was very difficult at times, but we persevered through it, got through it. And, even at times where, I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. We said, hey, the purpose, the mission outweighs what our differences and our little traumas and triggers. So we were able to stick through and just continue to work.
That's beautiful, and thank you for that transparency. It's such a beautiful thing to see you all working together and what you're producing. I just pray the best for you all, that you continue to grow and that you get over whatever hurdles that there could have been, because everybody only knows each other from situation to situation. So I can only imagine, but I just pray that Allah blesses you all, because you all coming together, not only in a relationship, in matrimony, but then in business, to offer something good that's needed to the community, healing, spiritual. It's just beautiful. So I pray that it just works out for the best for you all.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're doing construction during the day. So I'm imagining that helped you with building and putting together that beautiful place.
Yes, ma'am. So, by trade, I was a big hand when we bought the building, because it was just an open space.
Okay.
So, we took on a task, had to get the architect, the permitting, and, the contractors, and we were very involved and hands-on.
Okay.
In all aspects of the project. So, and that was, difficulties with the inspections and stuff like that. But it was still a nice sense of pride for us to actually we got our hands dirty. And
Mm-hmm.
sheetrock up, we painted floors and, the different aspects to, the building.
How did you make yourself known in the community? What techniques did you use to get your name out there?
Well, we had a pretty decent sized grand opening, and our grand opening, which was a little different than most grand openings because
Okay.
I have that melanin market in me, and that's a whole nother side of which we, black businesses. And I, we had a grand opening in which we bought a DJ, a band,
That's how we do
bought
it.
vendors, and we're going to set the tone differently now when we come.
Mhm.
It's yes, it's about Shokra Soups, but it's about all of us. All right. So that's why we had 8, 9 businesses out here. And
Yeah.
it was just a beautiful day to let the community know that we were here, as well as inviting out the dignitaries of the mayor, the councilwoman, and as well as student minister Brian, our local coordinator here, Willingboro. He came out and everybody showed words, and it was just a good day of unity. And let's get behind.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost. Oh, there he is. So we had this festival type of environment with the vendors and everybody out there. We celebrated, we partied, and then what? Because a lot of times we do that, and then we're going in the business, and it's like, and then what?
Now it's go to work. So I probably went door to door. I'm a ground guy,
Yeah.
and I'm not one who talks too much. All right, I probably delivered 1,500 flyers. I'm out doing whatever I can. Social media, we're going to just blaze it up as much as possible, and we're still in actually legs of our marketing to stuff that we just continue to have to do, from nailers and all that. But it's just a lot to do. But even in a little bit of time, about 6 months that we've been open, we were able to definitely get the word out there. And it was just kind of getting it out by itself, hitting all the local media platforms, calling people, just everything. That it takes first up people I know and those people who I know. And then, we continue to hit all aspects of the community.
Yeah, going from that warm to cold market.
Come on.
And another thing that's so very interesting, especially in cases like this with businesses like you all, you get that group of consistent people, and then you just super serve them. And from that super service, which I can just tell that you all are doing, I can see how your wife is putting all this detail in it. You're going out and getting the people, you super serve them, and then I'm sure it just grows. I can only imagine that the area businesses and things like that, people will come for lunch.
Come on. Absolutely. And sister, we was actually blessed because, like I said, prior to the store, we have done a lot of work in this community.
Right.
We've done a lot of work in this community. Just from the nation and to groups and men's groups, Watchmen, Melanin Market. And I would advise all business over. You have to tap and know your people, know your community. So then when you launch that business, they're going to come and support you. They want to support you. They want that. You're bringing something new and filling that void. And they know who you are. They know your work. Of course, I'm going to spend some money with you.
That's right. That I was just going to expound upon that. So thank you so much. It's so important to know your community. A lot of, what's happening now in business and is that just about everything in business is mimicking what we see in pop culture.
Come on.
Right? So we see pop culture, say athlete, entertainer, real estate, but then there's just that pop culture way of doing things. And then people don't know any other way. What we're talking about is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. And number one, servicing the needs of our people.
Come on.
Okay. Second, then after we service the needs of our people, then we say we're going to super serve them. We're going to educate them. We're going to make them feel better as a result of being here. But they already know us because we're no strangers. So we shouldn't be involved in our local politics. We should know our neighbors. We should go to certain meetings before we, launch a business in a particular community. A lot of us like to be like our predatory counterparts, and that we just plop down in the community. We don't know nobody. That's what every other culture does to our community.
Right.
They pop in, they don't know our needs, they don't know us, they don't respect us. And so we have to learn to do business in an opposite kind of way. And so, congratulations on that, because so many, you would be surprised, Brother Corey, how many Black people in business that I coach who all they know how to do is mimic what they've seen the predators do. And they think that just because it's Black, that it's going to work. And I tell them, I said, I can show you whole countries in Africa where that does not work. You have to change the principles. You have to change your respect level. You have to do more, and you have to introduce the much needed goods and services into our community.
I mean, I think you're spot on. When a customer comes through that door,
Yes.
me being in the teachers, I know what type of day you're going. I already know what type of hell you've been paying.
That's right.
Whether it's family, you're fighting with your husband, your kids. So when you come in, I'm giving you a whole new aspect that you're not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
We strive not to do business in any way that you see in traditional way. We learn, the messenger taught us, study the white man. We study them, but we're not doing it the way and in the manner he does things. We're just learning from what he does, and then we're applying to it with best principles.
Yeah, you study so that you understand the rules of the game, you understand how your competitors are functioning, and then you find a way to plug in a hole. You find the needs, you find the wants, you find the desires, and you say, I can fulfill that.
So, yeah.
That's the idea. So tell us about melanin marketing. I heard you mention that.
TheMelaninMarket.com.
TheMelaninMarket.com. Okay.
Check it out. We are a place to be at. We are a platform who supports Black businesses.
Yes.
We started 6 years ago. Shout out to my partner, Marwees. And we basically, there's a whole story to that, but in hindsight, I am a 2015 Justice or Else baby believer.
Okay.
After I went to the 2015 Million Man March anniversary, I accepted these teachers a few months after, and I've been going since.
Yes.
One of the things that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that resonated to this day is when he was speaking about, in that time where it was Trayvon Martin, all these injustices and the cops and just a lot of what's going on in the national mainstream. And he said, if Black life don't matter, neither does Black dollars. And that seed dropped into my mind, and it hasn't got out since. And then me being from Willingboro, which is a Black suburb, it even resonated more to me, because I see how even here in with these beautiful homes that we have, we still are not an example for the people. So, we started out by doing a Unity in Business Expo, and we had about 35 Black businesses.
Okay.
And then I got with Marwees is a marketing genius. And what he basically had the conference, I said, well, Black businesses suffer, There's only, 2% of our money stays in our community. What do you feel? What do you think about that? And he says, Corey, marketing. We live in America, the number one marketers in this planet. You go anywhere over, everybody wants to travel here, they get here, they don't like it, and they want to go back. But we here as business owners have to take advantage of this culture of marketing, because unfortunately, our mindset. And when we had this conversation, he said, first of all, we got to change the name. And he said, Melanin Market. So the name, the presentation, the digital, all of these things we expound about and he taught me about. And it just reminded me of the importance, and do businesses understand the importance? Sometimes we take on and say, all right, I'm just going to do the logo myself. I'm going to do it. Well, there's somebody who has that gift or talent that can help you. As you see with the Shokra Soups logo.
Yes.
This is by an artist here in Willingboro. And all the different phases of the marketing have been teamed up with those who can make our product better. And so the melanin market has been an expo for businesses, and we've had up to 150 black-owned businesses at our events.
My
We
language.
bring music, we bring singing, we
Uh-huh.
have all schools of thought. We bring out the babies with marchings and all type of stuff because it's a celebration.
It is a
We want to
celebration.
bring everybody involved so that we can support one another. It can't just be about the business. It can't be just be about that business, but it could be about all of us. So our marketing strategies is just basically get everybody involved.
And we have to be committed to it. I love those words the minister said. If black lives don't matter, then black dollars don't matter. That's interesting because we are normally not disciplined enough to make sure that our money psychology is in place.
Come on.
Right? So we're not disciplined enough to say, if you don't treat me right, you don't get my money. We're not disciplined enough to say, I'm going to drive an extra 20 or 30 minutes, even if I have to go and support my sister or my brother. I used to get my nails done at Asians down the street from my house. When I found out that Sister Latasha had a nail shop, I drive 25 minutes just to go to my sister's shop because it's just that important to me that she gets the support as opposed to somebody else. And so I like to quote Dr. George Fraser on this kind of thing because he always talks about how we're always worried about customers we don't have. So you see a lot of Black people going, well, I'm kind of worried about what white people are going to say and all of that. Well, you probably don't have their customers. They're probably not your customers anyway. Then he says, white people ain't thinking about you. They're thinking about their families, their life, their jobs, I'm paraphrasing, and your dollar.
Come on.
Okay. So the idea is that we have to start celebrating our people when they get into business. It can't just be Forbes magazine saying an entertainer who white labels a product is an entrepreneur of the year, because it makes our children think that they don't have to be investors. They don't have to be inventors. They don't have to really build and develop a business. They can just become a singer or a rapper or an athlete. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you can do. But the margins are so low and the statistics are so low as to whether or not you're going to be able to do that. So they think they're going to be able to do that, and then they'll get a lot of followers and all of that. But we have to change the tide and how we think. I'll give you an example. I've been doing this podcast, Brother Corey, since 2009.
Come on.
And when I first started, there would be like nobody on it. Nobody was looking at it. But my business partner in Maryland, we built the micro hospital, who I've made millions of dollars with. We've made a really big impact in the world that's going to go down in history. I met on that podcast when there was like 10 people who listened. And I've met so many powerful people from just being out here telling my story. And I've made thousands of dollars off of this podcast just from being true to myself. So if you got a pop culture mindset, you're going to say, well, I'm going to go listen to the person that has 1 million followers. So I ask people, would you rather have 1 million followers who just log on and look at you? Or would you like to have 700 followers that give you $100 a month or a week?
Good question.
Right? That's what you got to think about. How much money? I made more money when I had less followers than when I used to have 50,000 followers before I was hacked. Not because the platforms are supporting me and monetizing me. I should be making millions off of this platform because of the type of information. However, to have a following that works with you, that supports you, that loves you, that helps push products and services forward, to me, is more valuable than 1 million people just staring at me on a platform. So we got to change our mindset. And I remember learning years ago, if I got 500, back then, if I had 50 followers, that gave me $100 a month. And if I can build those 50 followers up to 500 followers, at $100 a month, I'm doing better than if I'm just saying, oh, I got 1 million followers and they just staring at me. So let's be careful in how we construct things. And I love the work that you all are doing in that space, because we have to teach our people how to super support one another, because that's what people from other communities do.
That's right.
They support themselves, and they will support themselves before they support us. They'll come to us as a last minute ditch effort. And most of us that are on here that are in Black businesses, we'll tell you, you may have people from other cultures that'll do certain things with you, but are they going to let you handle their money? Are they going to let you, invest their money? Are they going to let you, come in their businesses and be their partner? Probably not, unless you're providing them with a service. We just got to change our mindset, because we're too caught up in the brainwashing connected with trying to be pop culture-ish.
I like that.
Everything, it drives me crazy, Brother Corey, because as a businesswoman, as somebody who builds businesses, I meet people all the time who are very well-meaning, but they disrespect me because I'm not pop culture material. And I've been, stomaching that for a lot of years, because I just said, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to keep being an example. And that's just how I'm going to go down and do it, because they think, okay, I'm not pop culture. I love Mary J. Blige, but I ain't Mary. I ain't wearing what Mary wears. I ain't doing what Mary does. Love her, but don't compare me and say, oh, well, you kind of like Mary J. Blige. No, her model's different.
Right.
And I think we don't know business models. We don't understand business models. And so what we're doing, and I would love to come up and partner with you guys and do something. If you have a panel, if you have something that I can participate in, because this is a message I want to share with our people around the world. We got to get out of this pop culture mindset of doing business.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah, please.
We live in a time where pop culture is actually falling apart and exposing itself.
It is. It is.
A lot of our people want to be something, and a lot of them are unhappy in itself. So, we started to use the term that you, as a Black business, you are a community leader.
You are.
You are so much bigger than what you think. You are a community leader. Mm-hmm. By just being a Black face behind that register or that face of that business to inspire somebody else.
That's right.
Now the conversation is to lift up the businesses, lift one another up to the importance of the ones who are creating the businesses, mm-hmm. so that they stay on top and stay creating. Mm-hmm. If we have a problem, the messenger says, stop the wanton criticism of Black businesses. Let's get on the phone call and call the person directly and let them know where they have fallen short, or this and the third, because you're too important. Right. My brother Jamal said that, the amount of money that's coming out of our communities, I believe, is around $2.5 trillion. It's
a lot.
That's the void that we're going after.
Mm-hmm.
That's that money that we're going to get back. So, the pop culture time, it was a good time. But as we have elevated, we're trying to do things righteously.
That's right.
One of the business practices, don't take it personal, motto, is kind of wearing itself out too, because it is personal. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because I put my heart, sweat, tears, and times to it. Right. I'm taking it personally, but it's definitely personal.
Right.
Because it's personal to me. That's the term I believe they use in The Godfather.
Yeah.
When I believe the character's name, he was going to take out his father. He said, "Don't take it personal that I had to kill your father." But that mindset to that pop culture is resonated to our communities, in which it gives us allowance to do you unjustly or do you unrightly. No, let's do good, fair business. If it costs $20, here's $20. If it, just straight up righteously. Yep. And I want to sleep good at night. I'm not trying to be worried about, if I did somebody dirty and all that type of stuff. So mm-hmm. I, just once again, getting away from that system, that culture, and getting back to our piece, our culture. And Shokra Soups, Supreme Sweets, you feel that melanin market, it's heavenly. You know, when you're around us and you don't have no interference, it's heavenly.
It is. It's like when you are doing business, just imagine doing business without those pressures, those predatory pressures. And think about how much more creative and how much more powerful we will be. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us the blueprint for that. Pool your resources, unite, and stop the wanton criticism. And then he told us to focus on the needs of our people.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to stop this predatory. So I had a model that I used to always say, old business models no longer work.
Come on.
And so it's time to create new business models, because if we don't, all we're going to do is bring that same system over to our communities that have the same interdependencies, and it's going to have the same impact as the one that we're trying to get away from.
And sis, you know, by Supreme Sweets, Shokra Soups, there's been times in which, because of the two businesses pulling their resources together and doing something together, it actually has helped us in both in ways. Let's say, you know, because I'm not on my own, and neither are them.
Yeah.
One of the business starts to fall short, we could kind of come together just to persevere, to get through that time, to get through that vote, keep it pushing. And so it's so important for us to not just be. I think I like Dr. Umar said, made these statements. These islands, black businesses are on these islands, and you know, all by themselves sometimes, and start to connect so that, you know, when you're in trouble, we can lift that business, because we don't want to see that business fall.
Right.
And you know, and I've been very thankful and blessed too, but we are definitely in a situation in which, you know, there's two of us.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
That are here together. So ain't no fair ones here, you know?
That's a blessing. Thank you, Brother Corey, for joining us today. It's been wonderful having you. Are there any last words that you want to share with us before we go?
I just want to thank you, sister. Thank you for your work. It's very inspiring, the work you continue to do. Definitely want to thank my wife for the work and honor. And I want to thank all the believers in this time. All
Yes.
lives, we celebrate Savior's Day. And if you are on the East Coast in the Jersey, Delaware Valley, come and visit us over here at Willingboro, New Jersey, 621 Beverly Rancocas Road. And if you want to come out and see those black businesses shine, the next March 25th, we'll be live here in Willingboro, over 100 businesses. And we're going to have an exclusive fashion show with black designers.
Ooh, I got to come to that.
We do not hold back. It's all about black excellence, and it's our time.
You guys have a black mayor?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I kind of figured that. It just felt black up in there.
Oh, yeah. Sister, too. His sister, our sister.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. So she's paid us. She's a friend of ours as well.
Absolutely. That's important. All praises due to Allah. I will see you all, inshallah, in about 13 to 15 days.
Yes.
Here at Savior's Day in Chicago. Thank you. Thank you to you and Sister Ada. Keep up the good work. And look, just stay prayerful.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you all for joining. That was wonderful, 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 Brother Corey. I see y'all in here. I see Sister LaFonda. She's like, okay. Brother Jason. No, Brother Javon. Sorry. Got your name wrong. Sister Ava, congratulations, sis. Brother Ronald. That's Sister Ada again. Brother Ronald. Let's see. Sister Alita. Who else we got? Man, y'all popping in this chat. I couldn't keep up with y'all. Brother Juan Carlos, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on board. Sister Felicia, welcome, welcome. We are on quite a few platforms now. We are on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn Live. We're on YouTube Live and Twitter Live. So more people get an opportunity to see these emerging new market leaders and these industry disruptors. And What brother was talking about is exactly what I'm talking about when I say we are emerging new market leaders, because we're putting together new business models. We're showing people a new way to do business. You have to be able to do business if you're going to survive. Let me say this. If we're going to survive the ebbs and flows of this economy, most people are already feeling it. If we're going to survive, we have to learn how to do business in a non-predatory fashion. So you got to stop just looking to make a quick buck off of somebody or take advantage or pimp them, because those people aren't going to last pretty soon. And if you've ever traveled to countries that they call third world countries, you will know that you get categorized in those kind of environments very quickly. So as the economy starts to sink and gets tougher, if people start to know you as a predator and they know that you're not loyal, they know that you're not somebody that's a good person that would have somebody's back, you get categorized in those environments and nobody will do business with you. That day is already here and is starting to come. So we have to learn how to create different business models that are not like the ones that our predators are showing us or that we see them practicing. In addition, this whole thing of looking at pop culture and only understanding business from a pop culture standpoint, that's old too, because there's a lot of industries out here. There's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of ways to do this thing that can make sense and that is more sustainable. So as the market starts to tighten, keep in mind, if your emotions make you decide that you want to start hustling people and taking advantage of people and dogging people, then you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. And you'll be just like those people. You know, I've spent time in Nigeria and Ghana and different parts of Africa. And there's always certain people that tell you, don't even do business with that person. And once you get that reputation, it becomes very difficult to turn it around. So what I'm saying for us, let's start taking the high road in this business world. Let's be smart. Let's be strategic and look at things like this. I always say this: nobody can take advantage of me, because if you think you're taking advantage of me, you're taking advantage of yourself. I say it this way: you can't play me, because if you think you're playing me, you're going to play yourself. That's why we have to be smart. That's why we have to move into other levels and other ways of doing business, so that your way of doing business exposes that predator. And you just got to be smart. You got to be smart, because people see you vibrating at a certain level. They're going to be picking at that vibration, trying to get some and tear yours down. So, all right, family, peace and blessings. Thank you for joining. Make sure you support the renovation and restoration of the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We've got some incredible things to announce to you. When I tell you that that this house has put us in the best situation in our community, in the preservation community, but most importantly, that house has revolutionized preservation in the Black community. And we're going to talk about that very, very, very soon. So go to Sajda House donations, make a donation. We need your support. We want to do this independently. We don't want anybody telling our story. We want to make sure that we're able to do this ourselves, tell our story, monetize our story. That's important. You can visit during Savior's Day week. For those of you who are going to Savior's Day, I realize there's people here who are not Muslims and may not be coming to our national convention, although you should. You should at least come to the Wintrust Arena to see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm pretty sure it'll change your perspective of him. And those of us who have been blessed to live this life that he has showed us to live can certainly share some wisdom with you. But so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m., we're going to be having tours. The links I just posted on Instagram and Facebook. It's on the bio. It's the first link. You can go and register. You have to be registered in order to attend the tour. We opened it up initially to coin holders and sponsors. And after this show, you'll be able, if you're not a current coin holder and a sponsor, to go out and book a tour. You have to book the tour. You can't just walk up and get in. Once we sell out, we encourage you to just come by and go live. We'd love people to come by the house and go live and show their audience and followers where they are. If you're on the tour, we'd love for you to come in and go live and show everybody where you are. See, the thing is we got to trick the algorithm, because what they like to do, and I learned this when I was on radio, I would post something on Instagram and Instagram would say, it's 5 likes. I think at that time, this is before I got hacked, I had like 50,000 followers. But then I'd go to, no, here's a better example. When I was on the radio, I would do an IG live simultaneously. And IG would say, 2 or 3 people listening. Of course, the radio, the numbers would be through the roof. And there would be times where there would be more people who would be listening than what they would report. Even here now on the show, sometimes I see more of you in the chat that they say actually follow. So you know how the game goes, right? When you're telling the truth, you're not really following the status quo. And y'all know we not following traditional business models, and we're not all trying to be like pop culture folks. So sometimes we get shadow banned. So we trick the algorithm. Everybody just comes, go live, and we just spread the word and spread it word of mouth. So don't rely on somebody looking at it on Instagram or Facebook or on social media. Text them, call them. Let's make this thing go viral. We got to do this just like we do the Final Call newspaper. Okay? Door to door, mouth to mouth, hand to hand. Let's do it. All right. Peace and blessings, family. I love you all. And I look forward to seeing you all Saturday morning, Saturday morning coffee talk. And then 3 p.m., we're going to be at the Silver Room doing a quick broadcast just to tell you all about the cool souvenirs you can pick up there when you come in town for Savior's Day. Peace and blessings. Make sure you add us to your Roku TV channel. Love y'all.